Wrestling Observer Live. We're live 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. And Saturdays, here we are, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. It's Jim Valley.
Oh, that's the most exciting type of Valley.
The effing king of recovery, 6-0 against death.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but toot.
Back because of the fans.
Each and every one of you.
The largest collection of STD having trailer park trash The Rock has ever seen.
You all fat, neck-bearded, mouth-breathing trolls.
They don't have adrenaline in their soul.
Well, much to Bruce Pritchard and maybe Jim Cornette and his minions, the podcast minions out there. Like it or not, Japanese wrestling has influenced pro wrestling on national TV. Well, it's not a round robin like the G1 or the World League. Both WWE and AEW have tournaments where the winners challenge for major titles at the major summer cards. It's tournament season in the United States and North America. The king and queen of the ring tournaments have begun. SmackDown last night in Bologna. My Bologna has a first name. It's WWE. My Bologna has a second name. It's B-O-R-I-N-G. If you're old, you know that joke. Anyway, we'll get to SmackDown if we have time. We have other things to talk about. A Friday night news dump. What a surprise. As you probably heard, or maybe you hadn't, Monday was supposed to be the beginning of the TKO Shareholders Trial, which was set to take place in Delaware. Well, it has been removed from the calendar. Why? Don't know. Could it come back? Yes. But what's interesting, we have brand new documents, which makes me wonder, is Janel Grant the origin story of the TKO merger? The plaintiff pre-trial briefs. And I think these briefs might be a little dirty. We'll check the laundry deck. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live.
I am an American.
All clear?
To have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how the program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. As a veteran, show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097. Proceeds support Heroes on the Water.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-826-4073. 800-826-4073. 800-826-4073. That's 800-826-4073.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money. And you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624.
Well,
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
Jim Valley, it's Wrestling Observer Live. And past couple of weeks, I've talked about this shareholder trial. And some people were like, oh, this can be boring. This is going to be boring because it's just going to be money mumbo jumbo and the stock is doing great and blah, 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 blah. Well, I hate to tell you so, but I told you so. Seriously. I don't want to say you're incredibly informed and ahead of the curve by listening to this show. But anyway, let me talk about this. Let me talk to you. So as mentioned, no trial on Monday. And Vince McMahon was set to testify, Ari Emanuel, some heavy hitters, Nick Khan, a bunch of people. Well, it's been taken off the calendar. And according to Bloomberg, their headline is, it's off the calendar, parentheses, for now. We don't know why. Could it return? Certainly it can. Are they, there's a lot of reasons why this could be happening. And I don't know any of these. This is just idea. Are they making a deal? Does the judge want to go over some of these documents more? There could be a million, somebody sick, somebody, whatever, could be any reason. So because it's gone doesn't mean it's not going to happen, as far as we know right now. Okay? But what did drop is the pretrial plaintiff brief. What does that mean, Jim? Well, I tend to be a brief man. Not brief talking, but not boxers. Anyway, I'm getting older. I need that. And never mind. So here's the thing. This is the pretrial brief. What that means is these are laying out the opening arguments for the plaintiffs, the shareholders. Now, there was something interesting from a little while back where the judge complimented the plaintiff's lawyer team. The plaintiff's lawyer team has a background in defending and prosecuting sexual assaults and trafficking. Let me repeat that for a second. The plaintiff attorney, the people bringing the case forward on behalf of the TKO shareholders, they're not money people. They're not forensic analysts for accounting. No. They have vast experience in sexual assault and trafficking cases. And that is what got my attention. Because the judge said these are the perfect people to do it. And that's why I'm wondering what kind of influence the Janel Grant, Vince McMahon situation has on all of this. Are you tracking with me? So, the judge cited the experience of the plaintiff's counsel, sexual misconduct and trafficking cases. And the judge said, because of all this, feels like it's the right team for the case. Interesting. So, these are the plaintiff's opening briefs, meaning this is the direction they're going when they open up the case. Now, for the first time As far as I know. Remember, this all started with an anonymous, air quotes, anonymous email from allegedly a friend of Janel Grant that was sent to the board of directors. Same board Stephanie McMahon was on. Same board Paul Levesque was on. Same board Vince McMahon was on. Nick Khan. I could go on and on. So all these people, you'd have reason to believe, got these emails at the same time. Here's the email. The first email. And this is new too. There wasn't just one email. There were 3 emails. 3. Now, as you know, if you listen to the show, I came out very strongly. And I will tell you, I tend to believe Ms. Grant's side of the case. Now, certainly, I believe she suffered trauma. And sometimes the trauma, perhaps, you don't remember things 100% accurately. But I do believe her version of events. I believe she is and was a victim. And I believe that there are, in my opinion, decades of circumstantial and perhaps more evidence that points to a pattern of behavior on Vince McMahon and WWE's behalf. That is my opinion. Now, you could believe something else. That's up to you. But I'm just letting you know to refresh where I'm coming from. So this is the email. It says, quote, my friend worked at WWE. She is, and the name's redacted, big black line. And we live homeless for a while on perks, etc. Perks meaning spelled with a C, meaning Percocets. I am not aware that Ms. Grant was ever homeless. As far as I know, she's been living in like an apartment or a condo that was her parents' or somebody's. And if she has an addiction to Percocets, I haven't heard that. But maybe this will come up. I don't know. Anyway, the friend, quote unquote friend, goes on to say, again, reading here, we went to get cleaned up together and she met Chief Chairman Vince McMahon not too long after that. Vince McMahon gave her a job. He paid her $100,000 every year until he started effing her. You know, they use the word. Then he paid her $200,000 a year. He is 80 years old and took my friend's soul just because he could. Vince McMahon gave her like a toy to his friend John, who works at WWE. Is 70 and her boss too, T.O. My friend was so scared she quit after Vince and lawyer Jerry, obviously meaning Jerry McDivitt. Her lawyer Jerry paid her millions of dollars to shut up. I'm going to the media as well as I don't want anything from, I'm reading, this is exactly how she wrote it. This person wrote it. I don't know that it's a she. Sorry. Anyway, well, I don't want anything from, I just want the world to know the truth about this pervert. And lots of run-on sentences, no punctuation, all of that. So that is the initial email. There are other emails. So that one came March 30th, 2022. What day, by the way, was WrestleMania? It's WrestleMania season, isn't it? Let's see. WrestleMania, what, 2022? WrestleMania 38. Is that that's Dallas. Okay. And that was, April 2nd and 3rd in Dallas. Okay. We get another email, which came, I believe, April 11th. Again, it says, again, reading. Board of directors for a major company like WWE does not care that the old founder and his old sidekick, Johnny, and they spell his last name wrong, Laurinaitis, took advantage of blank, who only worked hard. She would be angry that I wrote this, but I want no money. I'm sending this out to your stockholders tomorrow and to all lawyers my friend worked with. the lawyers' nose of the settlements investigate, and you will see WWE paid for her silence. Again, redacted is her name. Very good lady, treated like an animal by Vince McMahon and Johnny Laurinaitis. Last email sent April 14th. Deadspin is surprised that the board of directors has not checked Vince McMahon's phone, which will show all of his hurtful pictures back and forth to redacted. These include pictures of his privates to a 25-year-old employee and them in sex together with Johnny and in sex acts with her. Gross old men abusing a 25-year-old. I'm not aware that Ms. Grant is 25. There you go. We'll talk about some other things that come up in these briefs that kind of show the connection between Janel Grant and this settlement, or this merger with TKO and the lawsuit. Stand by, we're airing out these briefs. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer.
When your teen is slipping into drugs or alcohol, when social media and pornography consume their time and their mind, when depression and even suicidal thoughts cast a shadow over your home, as a parent, you feel powerless. There is hope. At Turnabout Ranch, troubled teens step away from the chaos and into a clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work, real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management, call right now and get the help you all need.
800-219-2494, 800-219-2494, 800-219-2494. That's 800-219-2494.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8223. 800-690-8223. 800-690-8223. That's 800-690-8223.
With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new Care Watch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The Care Watch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. The Care Watch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. Call us to get your Care Watch right now.
800-853-8931. 800-853-8931. 800-853-8931. That's 800-853-8931.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live. Now, the interesting thing, if you hadn't heard, you can go to Bloomberg and see these documents. There's a link there. But you also have to understand that late yesterday evening, again, a 5 o'clock news dump. 5 o'clock. They announced it was taken off the calendar at like 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Friday, It's graduation season. It's very interesting how all of that happened. However, what is also interesting is that they released these documents, the plaintiff's pretrial briefs. So basically, what we're looking at here are sort of the roadmap to how the plaintiffs, the shareholders, are going to deal with everything, how they're kind of dealing with where they're going to go in this case. And what this does is it shows basically that these according to the plaintiffs now, I want to make that clear. The plaintiff's case seems to point to them saying there was the Janel Grant situation, and after this happened, Vince then reached out to make a deal with Ari and TKO. And sure, you could say the stock went up and all of that, but the point is there wasn't a real investigation into other companies, other entities, trying to bid or trying to make a case for themselves. So as far as that goes, without knowing what the defendants were going to say, it's very interesting. They've got some emails, they've got some texts, they've got a lot of different things, particularly if you look at the timeline. What's interesting is as far as the first email comes to the board of directors right before WrestleMania 38, apparently, in Dallas. And they made, at no point, maybe it's too soon, but at no point did they try to rope in, keep, like, for example, Johnny Laurinaitis on the DL. They just kept doing what they're doing. Like they didn't know. But there's some really very interesting claims and very interesting things as far as some of these documents. They talk about how WWE Legal sent out, a communication saying, do not delete any communications. And like a day or two later, everybody on the board turned everything onto auto delete, which is interesting. Also as far as the signal, the Langus, as far as Langus goes, not just talking about all of this. So think about this. So the Janel Grant stuff, they get the emails. And then what happens, there's the Wall Street Journal article, which you know about, which led to all of this. Vince McMahon stepped, then Slim Jim doesn't want to sponsor the Rumble. Vince McMahon steps down. And there's documents in here that show within like an hour of his alleged retirement, Vince now cannot find, or Vince reaches out to Ari about making a deal. And in the documents, it says the deal, quote, solves a lot of problems. It's kind of strange that it, quote unquote, solves a lot of problems. There's a lot of things in here that there's a bullet point in this outline. which is E. Evidence, salacious evidence, forces McMahon into retirement. And that is, again, from the plaintiffs in the case, the attorneys. Says on July 22nd, 2022, McMahon's counsel produced documents to the special committee flagging a single graphic text message that McMahon separately produced. Now, there's a long redaction, a very long redaction. And then it says McMahon retired from all boards at the company that same day. And it says, Con and Stephanie McMahon took over, as you recall, as co-CEOs. Now there's Jeff Speed, who was on the board. And Jeff Speed basically says, if there's no CEO that would be able to stay on if this ever became public for them. And I'm paraphrasing. But what is in this long redaction? It's got to be something really, really bad. I mean, are we talking? If it's just them in sexual congress, if they're just them being intimate, even if it's a little wild, that wouldn't matter. But if a board member says, there's no company who would have a CEO with this kind of, in his mind, evidence that would keep them around. I just want to know, after that, what is in that redaction? It also goes on to say, according to the plaintiff's attorney, McMahon never intended for his July 22nd retirement to be permanent. Again, within an hour of the announcement, McMahon spoke with Emmanuel, according to these court documents, whom he had been interested in acquiring WWE for a long time. So Vince McMahon and Ari, remember the birthday card? The Step Brothers, Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, but it was Vince and Ari Emanuel. They love each other, they're buddies, they're all of this. So later that day, Mark Shapiro, texted Endeavor, according to this document, with an eerie premonition of what ultimately unfolded. And I quote, Nick and Stephanie are going to take over WWE. Actually, he says the WWE. Maybe he's Canadian like Bret Hart. I don't know. Are going to take over the WWE for the next 9 months. At the end of 9 months, Vince will be back with a new board, or he will take the company private, or he will sell it / coming to us. The race is on. The courtship is on. Unquote. Now, these documents are true, and this line of events, this calendar of events is accurate. You can now see why the plaintiffs are bringing the case that they're breaking. The deal was already in, according to these documents. I'm not saying it was. But according to these documents in the plaintiff's case, the deal was in. There was never going to be a real committee. There was never going to be any sort of real search. They weren't going to take any real offers. Again, this is the opening argument. And again, I want to point this out. It's the opening argument. That means it's the nicest possible way to say these things. You don't open with, a big right hook, unless you're playing, Mike Tyson's Punch Out. So it's very apparent and very, I think, clear to say, fair to say, that things, if this trial does proceed, or if it would have done it on Monday, we would have seen some more salacious things and probably some very uncomfortable things at times. but it's just, this is a fascinating read as far as this goes. Yeah. So on August 8th, 2 weeks after Vince McMahon's retirement, 2 weeks, tell you what that was going to lead to. Stand by. The court date is off. The lawsuit, does it continue? We'll find out. But these documents are fascinating. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live.
This important consumer alert is from the Credit Repair Hotline, a national service designed to help people improve their credit scores. Are you paying high interest rates because of your credit rating? Wouldn't you like to be able to qualify for a better car loan or mortgage rate? Would lower monthly payments give you more financial flexibility? If you're finally ready to fix your credit problem, you need to call today and get a free consultation from the Credit Repair Hotline. In one fast and easy call, we can pull your credit rating and show you real solutions how to improve your credit. And again, this is part of a 100% free consultation. Learn how you can save money on everyday purchases by having a better credit rating. And it all starts with this free phone call right now.
800-413-6214. 800-413-6214. 800-413-6214. That's 800-413-6214. Right now, you can switch from cable television to satellite television for free. That's right. We're offering free equipment, free installation, plus get a free $100 prepaid Visa card. Call the Satellite TV hotline right now. Make the switch from cable to satellite television and expand your viewing horizon. On top of free installation, for a limited time, we're offering a fixed price guarantee. With Satellite TV, you'll save money over your expensive cable bill. Plus, get access to hundreds of channels. And when you call right now, you can also ask about our seniors and military discounts. So make the switch to Satellite TV right now. Everybody gets free installation, free equipment, plus a $100 prepaid Visa card. Call right now and you can switch to Satellite TV and be watching everything you wanted to within the next week. And remember, installation's free, so call right now. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. That's 800-696-2871.
Running a business is like running a team. Every play counts. So Sean DeVore built DeVore Recruiting to help business owners succeed. And smart leaders know when to delegate. DeVore Recruiting makes hiring a virtual assistant simple and effective. Their team connects you with experienced professionals who handle admin, marketing, and client support so you can focus on growth. Choose from bronze, silver, or gold packages tailored to your needs. Visit DeVoreRecruiting.com. That's DeVore, DEVORE, recruiting.com.
$12.5 billion. That's what Americans lost to fraud last year alone. And the scams targeting seniors are getting smarter. AI-generated voices, emails that look perfect. So I built a weekly scam alert specifically for seniors. Every Tuesday, you get a plain language email about the latest threats, what to watch for, what to delete. It's completely free. Just enter your email. And if you want more protection, we've got that too. StopThisScam.com. That's StopThisScam.com.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
It's Jim Valley, it's Wrestling Observer Live, and you haven't heard the case. The shareholders suing TKO and Endeavor and WWE with the shareholder lawsuit. It's been taken off the calendar. Perhaps just for now. Who knows? We don't know why. No explanation has been given. Are they working toward a settlement? Perhaps. There could be a number of reasons why. Doesn't mean the case is over. Doesn't mean it won't proceed. Doesn't mean it will. We don't know. But happened last night, at 2 o'clock. And then, Friday afternoon around 2 o'clock. And then we got the document dump. This is the plaintiff's pretrial briefs. And what this kind of shows is sort of their opening arguments and kind of the beginning of their case. And you can see, again, doesn't mean that any of this is necessarily accurate. But this is what these people believe. And looking at it, you can kind of tell that they have a very compelling case, and a lot of it seems to be based on, the domino that the Janel Grant situation kind of started and kind of led us here to this point. And, as you know, I have been very strong about my opinion and my feelings about what allegedly happened to Ms. Grant. That I believe her, and I do believe she was a victim. And I believe there is a lot of years of evidence, circumstantial evidence, patterns of behavior, and testimony or descriptions from other people and shoot interviews and what have you, that certainly shows, she makes a very compelling argument, makes a very compelling case on her own for what happened to her. I believe she was a victim. I believe she is a victim. And it frustrates me. And if you heard the shows that I've done talking about her, I've been very strong about that. So this should come as no surprise to you. I've become so strong about it. A lot of people who I used to, just talk to, not like get scoops, or people I would just talk to in WWE no longer talk to me. And that's fine. I understand. I'm not mad about it, but I'm just saying that's been the situation. Doesn't mean they're bad people necessarily. Just, whatever. It happens sometimes. No loss. But what's interesting is, they talk about in the article that Vince McMahon, they talk about, how he got what he wanted in that company. As you probably have heard many times, his nickname in the company was Caesar. What he wanted, his every whim, his every need was taken care of. And, he's the quarterback of that high school team. He's the guy who has all of this. And so look, if this wasn't a problem, this wasn't a big deal, there's no smoke to this fire, especially when Vince is the all-seeing, all-commanding ruler. Why would they need to do this? Why would they? So as I was saying, again, in these pretrial documents from the plaintiffs, the shareholder attorneys, August 8th, 2 weeks after McMahon's retirement, they talked about lawyers prepared for discussion with Endeavor regarding a potential transaction with WWE. That same day, according to this document, Emmanuel texted McMahon to arrange a lunch for August 10th. August 10th, sent Emmanuel a presentation outlining a potential combination of Endeavor and WWE that included UFC. That presentation contemplated the exact framework of what ultimately became the merger. So, Emmanuel pitched the merger between WWE and Endeavor at a lunch, according to these documents, with Vince McMahon, with Nick Khan, and Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon. Now you remember, Stephanie left, walked away for a while to be with family. And I thought perhaps she'd kind of had it up with her dad. But if she's at all this, maybe she wasn't upset at all, perhaps. I'm just speculating. I don't know. That's just my initial thought on all of this. I couldn't say. I'm certainly don't want to disparage Mrs. Levac, Ms. McMahon in any way, but I thought that was interesting. So they're making slides for a merger, and they have not opened up as far as bidding or the offer process or any of these things. Now, if that's true, that should tell you a lot about this process and a lot about the situation. And maybe these people all have a point. And people have said the reason Vince made a deal with him is so he could stay in control. And Vince is quoted in communications with Ari saying he'll be the best partner he ever had. And no one, as we said with the investigations that happened, no, Ms. Grant was never interviewed. Ms. Grant, it's not unlike, no one ever reached out, talked to the Epstein victims. And that's another thing. Look, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I do not know. However, we know throughout history of the Hollywood casting couches. Hell, there's a video out there years ago, decades ago. Shirley Temple, as an adult, appeared on Larry King. She told the story, I believe it was going to, maybe it was MGM, I believe. And the heads of MGM separated Shirley from her mom. And both of them were propositioned to, how to advance their career. You understand what I'm saying? There's still a story. People know this. People are aware, with Epstein. There's video of Courtney Love tell, I forget which actress it was, some on the red carpet saying, stay away from Epstein. So, the casting couch is known in Hollywood. People want to succeed at all costs, and that's how they exploit them. Now, I'm not suggesting that anyone who's ever been an agent or anything like that has ever done anything like that. However, I'm saying if you've been around Hollywood a long time, you're a powerful person, you're making deals for actors and things, you've got to be aware, have at least heard stories and things. That's all I'm saying. You can't be around without knowing. Stay away from this person. Don't do that. Watch out. Be careful. And so, as far as an experience dealing with these kind of situations, people who are in Hollywood, you'd think they would be aware and they'd know how to investigate or what to do. But in this case, they just it's just second hat. Just second hat. But again, these are the opening arguments. Someone on the board saying no company would have a CEO with this kind of text or graphic material that they're involved in and be able to stay the CEO. There was a record hold. Preserve your documents. They switched it to auto-delete. They used Signal, Langus. They're not taking, obviously, according to these documents, and the case the plaintiff is making, that the people involved were not taking these issues or allegations seriously. Well, they're making a deal, probably, possibly, allegedly, because of them. Transacting, allegedly, off of what allegedly happened to Ms. Grant and others when sex trafficking was allegedly involved. Now again, they're so outraged. They want to make it better. And all these women, and there's men too, there's been history of that as well. But it tends to be male perpetrators, generally speaking, across the board. Not just talking about here. But why not make Janel's life easier? But no. Think about this. The anonymous emails come up and they end up somehow in the hands of the Wall Street Journal. If there's no Wall Street Journal, there's no government investigation. And if, I don't know that it did, but just kind of ponder for a second. Imagine, if you will, had this come from inside, not saying it did, but had it. It's a big unforced error, because look where we are. And now everything has been off the calendar. But it's just very interesting when you look at the order of events, you look at some of these communications and the actions of people and what they did. You can certainly see how these plaintiffs have a point. That they're already making slides. Vince is already talking about being the best partner he could be. And there's things out there that was so shocking to board member Jeff Speed that, he said there's no way that someone could say CEO after this. What is that? I mean, it can't just be two grown adults, making the beast with two backs. It can't be that. It's got to be, is it forceful? Is there, is it obvious that there's some sort of trafficking involved by this content? What is it? Yeah. Someone in my chat goes, Crash TV 83 goes, reads a lot like the Epstein class rallying around each other. Yeah, they have form, Jim. Yeah. If these are true, and many of them are documented, you have a point. Absolutely. And I want to make it clear that these are documents. Certainly we have not heard the defense's case and how they may defend themselves. I do want to make that clear. Again, do I tend to believe Ms. Grant? Absolutely I do. Do I look back on decades of behavior and alleged behavior and all the stories we've heard about Vince? I tend to believe them, especially now. But it's just, and it's, someone brought this up. Yeah, someone said, protect the money, protect the legacy, et cetera, et cetera. Stevie brought up, if it's true, Trump bought a load of stock. It'll be a long time before anyone clears out the rot of that company. Trump bought what? Between $15,000 and $50,000, which is a lot, but, he's got money. Why didn't he buy more? I mean, it's a lot to you and I. Maybe not so much with all of his billion-dollar acquisitions, Trump phones and all that garbage. But, I do want to mention this. I got to stop doing this, on Reddit and things. People talk about, mention the rot out of that company, and people always try to defend, Fed bad. I'm like, look, yes, it is bad. And look, I'm not asking you to stop watching. I'm not telling you to stop watching. But what I am telling you is don't make excuses. It's real. Understand what you're watching. Understand. And look, you can do that. You're an adult. Make your own choices. And look, it's impossible to have purity tests. Everybody's got a little something. Some more than others. But don't try to wave it away with your little slogans. Because that's BS. It is bad. Whether you want to try to whitewash it or not. Stand by, it's Jim Valley. Wrestling Observer Live.
Clear.
I get a lot of calls from people across the country who are suffering from the affliction of IRS tax debt. Hi, I'm the tax doctor. Call me right now. My team specializes in helping people over the age of 50 solve their tax problems. And the bigger your tax problem is, the more money you can save. If you owe the IRS money, or you're about to owe the IRS money, or even if you need to file years of unfiled returns, call us right now. Our friendly, highly trained representatives are waiting right now to take your call. Over the years, we've helped thousands of people just like you stop the tax liens, wage garnishments, and harassing phone calls. You don't need to send the IRS a big fat check. We can negotiate a lower amount. That's what we guarantee for you. So call us right now.
800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
We call ourselves ASAP Travel for one reason. We can help you book a ticket ASAP. For those of you that don't know, that means as soon as possible. That means no wait time. You get through right away. No searching online. Our specialty is the lowest available fares on the big name airlines. You know them. We can't tell you their names. You can fly domestically or internationally and save more money than you could if you call the airlines directly. Our proprietary software goes underneath the hood of the major airline booking systems and finds you the best rates available. So if you're ready to make your travel plans right now, business or vacation travel, we have all the major airlines always at great rates. Call ASAP Trips and we'll have your ticket in your inbox in 15 minutes. Call this number now.
800-364-2984. 800-364-2984. 800-364-2984. That's 800-364-2984.
Do you have diabetes? I'm sure you've seen the television commercials on the new CGM devices from all the top brands and how well they can help you manage your diabetes. Do you have the latest and newest in diabetes technology? The Diabetes Solution Center carries most of the top brands, and the great news is your insurance may cover most of the cost. Call our special CGM hotline today, and our friendly representatives will help see if you qualify. You could get a new CGM from the top brands at little or no cost to you. Make living with diabetes easier. You are just one free phone call away to learn if your insurance covers the cost. So make this free call today to the Diabetes Solution Center and learn for free how to get your new continuous glucose monitor.
800-520-8629. 800-520-8629. 800-520-8629. That's 800-520-8629.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
Jim Valley, it's Wrestling Observer Live. As we mentioned, the trial, the WWE merger trial, taken off the calendar, sparing McMahon for now. That's the headline in Bloomberg. You can go to their website and see that. So, yeah, they expect to testify starting Monday, but the attorney for the shareholders, one of them, said late Friday afternoon the planned 4-day trial was no longer on the Delaware Chancery Court's calendar. Reason for its removal wasn't immediately available, and there's no comment yet. But the investors are seeking hundreds of millions of dollars because they believe that it wasn't an actual, vetting process with other bidders. That was always going to be TKO. It's always going to be Ari Emanuel and Endeavor with UFC and the whole thing. But they did unseal new materials. And if you look down the paragraph, I think it's paragraph number 7, there's a hyperlink that's in the word material. Click on that. And, it talks about a federal grand jury subpoena seeking WWE's records related to McMahon's workplace behavior, sexual misconduct, allegations. But what's missing and loomed over the trial is issues involving the companies and their leaders. And keep in mind, the court judge already seized on records showing McMahon and WWE leaders changed their signal, auto-deletes them. So, see what happens. There's also a calendar and everything. So go to Bloomberg, see all of that, and we'll see what happens. But this is not just numbers. It's not boring, just like I thought it was going to be. So if it happens, be ready. We'll see what happens next. All right. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend. And remember, when it's in the ring, don't get too upset. It's just wrestling. This is something different entirely. All right, talk to you later. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer.
All right, Jim, have a good week. I will talk to you.
How was that?
Saturday.
Does it make sense, kind of what I was saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good. All right, brother, I'll talk to you later.
All right, adios.
Bye. Yep. All right, guys. There you go. Yeah, that was kind of the deal. All right, I have got to go. I've got a whole thing to do today with graduation stuff and all of that fun things. Here, I'll show you a couple more figures. Here's Andre the Giant. I got him. It's pretty cool. But I don't know. It all started when I got these figures, really. These Road Warrior figures, because they look so cool and detailed. And I was like, oh, I got to get those. And now I'm just like, oh, I got to get more figures. The cool detailed ones. I love this style, and I like supporting the small independent businesses. That's really cool to me. I mean, maybe I'll get some, I don't know if I'll get WWE ones or not. We'll see. But yeah. Yeah, I'd say plus. Look at this thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll show you. So here's the Japanese one. So yeah, the Jinsei Shinzaki. I forget which company this is. But go to J&J Figures. They get a lot of stuff there. They're pretty nice guys. Okay, like who do I have that's considered? There's I do want to get more Brody or more Japanese figures. There's the Bruiser Brody. He's even got fuzzy boots. He comes with the chain, but I put the chain away. I don't want to lose it. But yeah, there's Brody. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Here's from that other line, that 80s line, Bull Nakano. Got to get Bull Nakano. Some of the Bull figures don't look as good as I wanted, so I do want them to look good and look like the people. But yeah, there's Bull Nakano. I think her hair looks great. I think looks good. Whoops, sorry. It's Bull Nakano. But these, again, this is junkyardshop.com. Yeah, y'all hate AEW. This is the Noah Goon Group. That's funny. I love AEW. I like a lot of things. Here's Sabu, which I think is fairly new. This one is tremendous. The detail on the headgear, and this is ribbon. That's the actual ribbon, which is pretty neat. Here, can I get rid of that? There we go. There we go. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't stand the best. He needs a little needs some work standing. You got to kind of move his arms and weigh him down to kind of get him to stand. That's pretty cool. What else haven't I shown you? Oh, there's King Kong Bundy. He looks pretty cool. King Kong Bundy seemed like a pretty cool guy, so I got King Kong Bundy. I never liked this style. By the way, if you order any figures, just tell them that you saw them on my, just so they know that I'm kind of helping them. Not because I'm not trying to get anything. I like to help these people. And I don't know, just like to help small companies and stuff. So just let them know. I just want them to know I'm a friend. That's all. If you do buy anything. But yeah. Yeah, some of these are so cool. It wasn't an amazing match. The Dynamite, I know. Dynamite is so great. Dynamite has been great. They've had a great year creatively. There's Animal. I didn't get the NWA version. I didn't like them as much. Who knows, maybe someday. I tend to like this version of the Road Warriors, but it seems like maybe it's just because it's black. Like the red, I feel like looks better on a figure. But these guys, these are at Map Maniacs. It's the Nerd Closet. And when you look at the picture, you go, look at those chins. They're kind of stylized. And I was like, I don't know if I want kind of cartoony figures. However, in person, they look great. I mean, this looks a lot like Animal. It looks a lot in person. So yeah, I mean, it's got the shoulder pads and the cleats, whatever they're called, that come off. They're pretty cool. Yeah. Forbidden Door is going to be awesome. And you know what? I'm talking to my friends in England. I may go to All In. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Dude, it's going to be awesome. Every show was great. They worked so hard. Yeah. There is a Rush figure. Where's that? It's the same people who make the Ultimo Dragon and stuff. It's Kevin Kleinrock's group. Hang on, let me take a look here. Hang on. I made a mess. There is a Roosh figure. Yeah. Hang on. Hang on. What are they called? I always forget. It's like Legends of Lucha Libre. Let's see. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, Legends of it's Boss Fight Studios. Yeah, there is one. There it is. There he is right there. It's pretty good looking too. They do great figures. Oops. Not right now. Anyway, they do great figures. So detailed. I think these figures are they're some of the best of this style, I believe, on the market. They're awesome. I think I am. Yeah, no, it's good. If I could find, because of the shelves and stuff, I got some things packed away. Otherwise, I would show you. I would show you I don't have Roosh, but I have the Ultimo Dragon and Black Taurus, which looks great. But no, I love, like these guys. Sorry, look at this. I'm like show and tell. I'm like a kid. These guys look like prime, like 1986 Road Warriors to me, with the makeup, and I like that their bodies are slightly different. Just everything. This looks to me like 1986 Road Warriors, which would make sense because they were first over there in '85. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with Will Ospreay if that helps with tickets. But yeah, I think I want to go. A friend of mine put a bug in my ear, and I'm like, with all the other stuff happening, I was like, But yeah, so there you go. Yeah, it's great. I love these things. They're so cool. Yeah, I've got like 5 pair of Road Warrior figures. I think I've got 20 figures, and 5 of them are, and 10 of them are Road Warriors, which is pretty, or LOD, whichever one you want to call it. But yeah, I like it. I think I want to collect. I've got some more Randy Savage figures coming. I don't know. I'm just kind of looking like, who do I like? Do they look good? That kind of stuff. But I never liked this style of figure, but I find like with the ones that are more posable, they're like just generic bodies. This looks like Jinsei Shinzaki. That's his body type and everything. It looks like him, and that's why I like it so much. It's really cool. I love it. Yeah. It's AEW match graphics. That's funny. Anyway, yeah, I'm way into figures right now. Don't tell my wife how much I've spent. Actually, I do okay. Yeah, this one looks good. They all look. I can't get over like how much these guys like. At first, I'm like, oh, these will be fun. These are fine. And now I'm like, in person, this looks a lot like him. I'm not even kidding. So it's cool. Oh, I paid more for video games because I've got some arcade machines downstairs. So no, I've definitely paid more for video games for sure. But I got some figures coming today, so I'm excited about. It's really weird how I just kind of went from 0 to 50 with the figures. So don't judge me. Anyway, all right. Well, I should go. I've got to get this done. I can't stay long because we got things to do. But I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope we kind of painted a picture of what everything's going on. So there you go. Anyway. Oh, with Monet, what about? Oh, she could. Look, I think it's great she's back. She looked good, I thought. I think she's great. She's the coolest. We'll see what happens. No, man. I think that AEW's doing great creatively and from a match standpoint. You know what's funny? Look, that lucha match, Americano versus Americano. That was awesome, okay? I give them nothing but credit. But it's funny to me how WWE fans, they don't get matches like that very often. So they're over the moon, and good for them. I'm glad they're enjoying a high-quality match like that. They don't understand that those happen pretty much every week or very often in AEW, and that's fine too. But my feeling is, it's like Undertaker's such a great booker. Because they've for years given credit to Vince for everything. Thank you for helping us breathe. Thank you for the sun in the sky. And they give Undertaker that same praise when it's like, no, what you have two awesome performers in Chad Gable and Ludwig Kaiser, who, because of the way the WWE universe has been educated, they don't believe, they don't give enough credit to the wrestlers. They don't sit there and go, hey, wait a second, this match was awesome. But if these guys had this match, just Chad versus Ludwig, WWE, the crowd would just shit on it because they're not stars, It's like it should have made them rethink everything about wrestling. But instead, they're just like, yay, Undertaker, yay. And look, Undertaker's done a great job. But booking for 1 hour a week with a bunch of people who know who you are, respect you, and also have zero leverage. And I'm not saying they'd give him too much trouble, but it's like Triple H has got a lot more to manage and deal with than Undertaker does, or Jeremy Borash for that matter. But and look, maybe he could be up for the challenge. I'm not saying he wouldn't be, but we don't know until you do it. But they're just two different jobs. But maybe he could be. I'm just saying you can't go, oh, he should be in charge, because it's kind of apples and oranges as far as that goes, because they're two different kinds of. But look, it's been a great match, and it's too bad the people who love it don't realize that the people who watch AEW get a lot of this type of stuff all the time. We're very lucky in that sense, and that's what I mean. I'm not trying to rip on anyone, and I wish they got to see, like, for example, last night, Ricky Starks and Carmelo Hayes, they had a match. Crowd enjoyed it, but they weren't as into it maybe as other crowds might be. So we shall see. You're not big on Monet returning. We'll see what happens. Who knows? I'm trying to think. I feel like, I guess you could do Tekla and Mercedes at All In, I guess. I don't know. Yes. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I don't know. It'd be a good match, but I don't know if they've really built that up enough. But she'll be on the card, and she'll have a big match with somebody for sure. And she should be. She should be on the card. But there you go. All right, I should go. I got things to do. What the hell is this? It's Wrestling Observer Live with the guy who had throat surgery. I'm sorry. It's the way I talk. I'm sorry. I wish I could help. But, yeah. Anyway, but I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here, Mick. I hope you get used to it. I know the voice is there's nothing I can do about it. I've had a lot of surgeries. Right there, you can see the little cuts in my throat. But, yeah. Well, see, some people love the show. Billy likes the show. Stick around if you want, Mick, and maybe you'll decide you like it, or maybe you won't. And I get it. If you can't handle the voice, I totally get it. But you're welcome here. And I try to answer chats and try to have kind of a more dynamic flow with the show, because my background's doing radio, and I like that kind of stuff. So we shall. Ooh, Sunday Bloody Sunday at Red Rocks. That's funny. Blue Balls at Red Rocks. Something like that. Why not? Anyway. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And I will talk to you later. Enjoy graduation weekend if you're doing all that stuff. But don't let this story die. It's very important. That would be cool. A Red Rocks show would be awesome. Oh, yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, it's not David Bryan. Brian's only going to work once. He's got kids and all that stuff. But I've been doing this for a while, but they don't really edit my stuff and put it out, which I'm totally fine with. It's not a complaint at all. I'm just saying that's probably why you don't know, but there you go. Anyway, well, hope you enjoy the show. Hope you come back or watch it afterwards or listen to the podcast and see how that goes. What now? Oh, you want Tony on? Oh, my weekly check. Right. No kidding. Because, yes, that's right. My weekly check. God, I wish. Look, I'll sell out. Someone just tell me how to do it. The money be great. I'll sell out. It's fine. I'll take that money. Make that money, baby. Make that money. Okay, tell me what's a Red Rock show. All right. I wonder if they'd allow that. I don't know. Why not? That'd be pretty cool, though. That would be cool. Yeah, Tana. She's so sweet. What a nice woman. I feel so bad for her. Yeah. Oh, you mean, Tanahashi. I was thinking of Rebel, sorry. Yes, Tanahashi. I'm getting a Tanahashi figure, by the way. I want to get some more Tanahashi figures. I just want to get cool guys and girls that I like. So, yeah. It would be set up kind of like Daly's Place. So, did I show you all the figures? I'm thinking if I keep getting into figures, maybe I'd do a figure show. Would you guys want like a regular, like an hour of figure talk? I don't know. I'm not an expert enough to know, but we'll see. Anyway, you guys have a good weekend, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for being here. And Mick, I hope you come back or give the show a listen and decide it's for you. All right, talk to you guys later.